What's up guys, it's Coach Ray. We're gonna go ahead and jump into Final Cut Pro so I can show you guys how I do the power sessions. Let's jump in. Okay guys, so one of the first things that I do is I drag over all of the videos that I know I'm going to put in Final Cut Pro and I import them into Final Cut Pro. So right now what I'm doing is I was finding the intro to the beat making and I dragged it in, watched it a couple times and cut the parts that were dead. Maybe I was starting the video and we were dressed in clothing or anything. I cut that so that it goes right to the point. I also added and dragged in the intro to the power session. Whoever is in that video, I make sure that I have them already done and in first, because that is the first thing that you guys see when the power sessions start. Yeah, so again, I'm just watching it to make sure that I didn't miss anything, maybe a mess up or anything. I also let it render, which if you see right now, it's at 100%. It's like a green escalate thing and it says 100%. I also let it render because if I don't let it render, it'll take a lot longer to edit this power session. And I also, between each, go ahead and have my transition entered, which we use a lot of the static because that's our theme. And yeah, so that's what I do. And now I'm just, doing the same process of finding the video, putting it in, watching it, let it render, cut what I need to cut out, same thing over and over again. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and speed up that process for you guys. Right here, I'm actually scaling the video of when he starts making the beat because I wanted to overlap the screen recording we did on Logic Pro X and the video we recorded on our camera and do like a multi-camera layered look. So right now I'm just scaling it to make sure that you guys can see enough of him, but you can also see enough of the Logic Pro and the process of us actually making the beat. So yes, that is what I'm doing right now. Yeah, so that's a layer look I was talking about a little bit earlier, and we'll pick back up the speed now. Okay, so at this point, I was trying to match up the camera view with the screen recording view so that the timing would be the same. Like for example, he would mention, I'm going to pause this really quickly, that the mouse would actually move at the same time he was moving his hand so that you could see it in real time. And that actually took me some time to figure out because this screen recording was I think about an hour long, so I had to kind of just like fiddle through when the timing was and then when it was dead space and just kind of try to match it up. So yeah. So this part right here, coming up in a little bit, is the rendering process. So there is a orange line at the very top where you kind of see the timing, and that lets you know that that section needs to be rendered. So you kind of just have to press pause, let the computer sit, and it'll like analyze everything and get everything in timing so that when you play it's not choppy. And this part is actually sped up because in real time, this took a while. I was able to like get a snack and get some things that I needed for school and upcoming things I was doing. I was able to do in that time. Just take a break, walk away from the computer so I don't drain myself out. So yeah, so this is the rendering process. Okay, so at this part, I blew up the screen so that I could make sure that when I played it, it was actually on the right timing for you guys. And I think it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next part that I do so that we can get on moving. So right now I am putting the camera view of me doing what I needed to do and getting that also lined up with the screen recording we recorded on Logic Pro X. So this is basically the same process of the last part, just making sure that it's timed perfectly, adding my transitions in from one video to the other, making sure the audio sounds pretty good. I will eventually scale it down so that you can also see the back up, so you can actually see the screen recording in the back of it. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and speed this process up. I will slow anything down and put it in real time if I want to explain anything else further. But right now, this is just the same process for a new video clip. So this power session and the way that I'm editing it is pretty custom to this specific one because this has a screen recording attached to camera view. But our other power sessions, the process is a little bit different. I don't have to spend time trying to match the camera and the screen recording perfectly. I don't have to I do have to make sure like the audio is good. I do have to make sure that my transitions are right. Still have to render, but having 1 hour long, 2 hour long screen recording things that's not in my everyday thing. I also do like to add little words here and there, and that's by using titles. And they have so many cool different little titles that you can choose from. They have like lower thirds, and I use a lower third anytime anyone is being introduced, and I'll show you a little clip of a lower third and the lower third that I used for the power sessions. But yeah, I do add words to accent anything that I think is important. I might make fun of any facials that anyone does. I just try to make it more enjoyable for you guys to watch, but not overbearing to where every second there is something popping up or anything like that. So there's just a little bit of a balance here and there. But overall, I do enjoy doing power sessions, and I actually am enjoying showing you guys how I do make the power sessions. So Okay, so I decided that it would be kind of cool for me to take you in Final Cut Pro again, but just kind of give you a tour of what I use. Um, for example, the transitions, the font for us, anything that I kind of know what it does, I'll give you a little like overview of it. I am still learning how to use this program and a lot of other programs. Not an expert, but I will kind of take you into it and kind of give you just a mini tour of how Logic Pro functions as a software. Okay, so the first thing that happens when I make a new library or a new Power session um, is that I am making a new library. So I would name it whatever I want to name it. Normally I would name it Power Session Step Video, or whatever the theme is or the name of the song that someone's dancing to. I would name it that. And then it would create it in Final Cut Pro. And then you would see that it's an import mode, and then there's a button or a section that says New Project, and you would click on New Project, and you would again name the project. So for this one, it was a tour, so I named it Final Cut Pro Tour X, Final Cut Pro X Tour, and then you'll see it at the top, and if you close the project or the library and then you open it again, you would click on that action thing that I was just hovering over to open your project. So now I'm at the import section, and you would click on the arrow and that shows you that you can import. I decided to import just this picture of at the logo. It's JPEG. And if you wanted to do the whole video, you would move all of the yellows to it until it hovers over the whole video. If you wanted to do a little section, you would just hover over the little section of it. And right now it's by 30 seconds, which is at the bottom. So it shows you every 30-second frame. And that's like the menu bar. I'm kind of just moving it over and cutting, and this is the whole menu area as far as the tools of what you can use. And I'm kind of just moving it around just to kind of show you me playing around with it. And that's how you zoom in and zoom out. And over here, this is the transitions. So the static that we use, I mean, there's a lot of, you could do curtains, arrows, there's a lot, but we typically use the static because we want to emphasize that we are an outlet. And that's what it would look like when you put it in. And you just drag it over and lay it between two video clips that you want. And that is rendering right now, which is that green circle right there. This is 100%. That was the render section. So that is where you scale the video. You can get it bigger, smaller. You can position it anywhere, negative, positive, and just move it. And you'll see the difference between the video 1, video 2. And here it is rendering again. So that's what it looks like. And this is the titles. This is what I use for the lower thirds, or when I add in any words that I want to put in. If I'm trying to accent something that someone is saying, or I want to let you guys know that we're doing a warm-up right now, or if they say just watch, or now it's your turn to try. Sometimes I do have words up there for you guys to follow. In one of the videos, when we were teaching you guys the anthem, the words for the drum line, and for everyone, I had put these words up here for you guys to recite. I don't know if you guys saw that video, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's just me typing it in on the title box. I was just trying to decide what I should put, and I ended up putting at the outlet with the @ symbol as the logo, just to kind of make it look different. And I typically always use that condensed font so that we kind of have a look for us for now. And right now I'm under the effects, so a lot of the times when the words are staticky or the video has like a shaky vibe to it, or the colors change or it goes black and white, that would be under effects. And I do use effects, especially in this JaNEWrary series for the videos that have released. And that one right there is the camera thing. If you guys remember on the intros, I got the power, that whole intro, at the very end you always see the camera. And I end up going with the, I think it's called Bad TV, to make it look staticky, electrified. And it kind of gives it like a cool color tone to it. And that's, yeah, right now it's overlapping on the video and I'm letting it render, but I think I do eventually move it separately so that it's not overlapping like that. Yes, I do. I move it over. And that's what it looks like when you play it without any effects. So it kind of just goes in and out like that. So right now I am editing the video as if I was doing like a regular power session. Just trying to make it like a cool little movie so you can see the end final product of it. And that's with letting it render, and this video is in real time, it's not sped up, so as it renders, that's just like a little idea of how the real timing renders. And this is actually like a 15 to 17 second video, so it didn't take that long to render. And I just added a cross dissolve to make it look a little cool at the beginning of the video, so our logo kind of fades in, and then you'll see it hit and then hit another thing, and then it's pretty much over. Again, I'm going to try to add more effects at this point to see if I could do something else to make each, just to make that intro of that one JPEG picture like not boring. But I think that the ones I did end up choosing was weird, so I didn't end up using any. Yeah, but I try to go for this one right here, which is like a pictured one where you add 4 different pictures in. And I gotta be honest, I kind of didn't understand, and thought it would have taken a while for me to try to get each picture in, so I ended up not doing it. But this is kind of cool, like if I was trying to make it look like a Zoom call or FaceTime, or if it was just supposed to be like different video clips at the same time, or maybe like a timed relay race and like different camera points. You could definitely use that right there. But this right here is the lower third that I use, And every at the beginning of every video, when the coaches are giving their intros, that is what you guys see at the bottom left of the screen. So I change out like year to ATO. I think this is name would end up being the coach's name. Description and information changes to like the series that we're in. So I put Coach Ray, but for right here I put JaNEWrary series, which is what I would do for any series that we do. And I kind of accent the new so that you guys could see that it's like we didn't spell it wrong. It's just kind of a wordplay. So I like to change the new to like the red at the very top of the bar, and you'll see me do that in a little bit. Actually, I'm doing that right now. So it takes me a little bit to kind of get that going. And then information, I end up putting Final Cut Pro X Tour. So that's what I'm doing right now. There we go, I got it going right there. And now I'm just going to change this last section. And then I'm going to play it for you guys so you guys can kind of see what it looks like with the new words plugged in. Plugged in. Get it? I feel like that's something Coach Lay would do. Shout out to Coach Lay. She's awesome. Yeah, so right now it's just kind of rendering. And I think I let it finish rendering, and then I show you guys the end of this whole thing. Yeah, in a little bit after this renders, which again is in real time. So yeah, how does this look? Does it look intimidating? It's pretty easy. So would you guys think it'd be cool if you guys did a power session, or if you edited your own video, would you do it, or would you have to hire someone, or is this interesting to you? Is it boring? Let us know in the comments. And make sure you subscribe and you share to all your other friends and family and all your other coworkers and all that. Yeah, so it finishes rendering, and that's what it looks like when you play it with the new words. So right now, I am going to blow up the screen and show you guys what it looks like in movie form, which I like doing that, so I could see like what you guys would end up seeing when I end up like exporting the whole thing. And I kind of thought it was paused because it was long at the beginning, but yeah, that's what it looks like. We're about to wrap this up right now. So this is how you would export it. You go to File, you would go to Share, you would go to Master File, let it sit for a second, and then something should pop up right there. Yep. I left the name because I know what that means, but you could change, I think, no, I put video in, but you could change the name, whatever. You could do like, this is it, this is my video, whatever you feel you need to put there. At the bottom, it shows you the timing, the JPEG, all of that. And then you would name it again and select where you want it to go. So right now it's going to movie. And then where it would typically render, that is where it is going to let you know, like master file, and how long it's going to take to share to wherever you want it to go. So right now, it's actually done. So that took like 2 seconds because it was a really short video. And you get a notification right there. And then I just play it to make sure that it's the same, because sometimes it could get a little funky or whatever. So I just want to make sure that it's good. And yeah, this is the video that I ended up doing. So thank you for watching this power session. Thank you for watching my tour, hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.